Right. And we have one.
And you're on.
Okay, good evening. I have my video off. This is Jane Oak speaking because it was interfering with the audio. We seem to feel that this is working better. We've already started the meeting in open session before going into executive session, and we're now reconvening in open session. Per former Governor Baker's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 20, the public will not be allowed to physically access this school committee meeting, but members of the public can access the meeting via Montague Community Television broadcast. The extension of the emergency open meeting law provisions were signed into law as Chapter 20, Section 20 of the Acts of 2021. The school committee reserves the right to implement additional remote participation procedures and will notify the public of these procedures as it is practical to. The option for public bodies to hold meetings remotely until March 31st, 2025 has been signed into law by Governor Healy as Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. Any members of the public who wish to join the meeting may do so by accessing the link to be found on the Gill-Montague Regional School District website. It can be found under School Committee Notices and Agendas for upcoming meetings, and it will be under tonight's school committee date. And just a little clarification for people. Even though the Mass State Legislature and Governor have signed the law allowing public bodies, such as the school committee, to continue to meet remotely, we're intending to meet in person whenever possible. Our last school committee meeting, we were able to be in person. If, however, it isn't possible for all the necessary members, such as school committee, staff presenting reports, etc., to meet in person, then a meeting will be held virtually as this meeting is. I hope that helps clarify that. We are live streaming this as well as broadcasting on MCTV. A recording of the meeting will be available on MCTV and the district website. If you are in the Zoom audience, please remember to keep your camera and microphone off. And we'd like to welcome visitors. I also would like to mention that we are fortunate this evening. We are joined by our Irving advisory member, Jacqueline Boyd, who will be with us this evening as well. Hi, thanks for joining us. And this is our time to welcome visitors. It's an opportunity for public participation. It has been reinstated to hold this public participation remotely, and we're always welcoming public comments during this portion of the meeting. We ask that these be limited to 3 minutes or less each, and public comment is designed to allow the school committee to listen to ideas from the public. Therefore, the school committee does not engage in verbal exchanges during this time. Please, if you are speaking, once you're recognized, state your name and any affiliation before you speak to us. And I believe tonight we do have one person who would like to participate publicly. I think it's John. You're muted, John.
I believe it was Natalie Spatcher, S-P-A-C-H-E-R.
Okay, do we have Natalie here with us?
Yeah, Cliff, I don't know. Okay, here we go. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hello, my name is Natalie Spatcher, and I am a Town of Montague resident, and I'm also a parent of a child who is a student at Gill-Montague School District. Our family has been fortunate these past 2 years to have a team who is passionate about their jobs and who are dedicated to provide high quality care and education to support our son as well as other students. As some may have heard from the last meeting when my husband Clifford Spatcher spoke, our son is nonverbal and he receives a generous amount of speech therapy and occupational therapy at Hillcrest. Please know how grateful we are to know that our son's team is not only recognizing what supports he needs, but they also act upon it and provide high quality care with the resources that they have. With that being said, as a parent, I see that our therapists deserve their own working space to be effective. In order to be effective to effectively treat their students. Their work environment should consist of a calm, therapeutic, and private workspace to host individual sessions in order to make it the most effective for their students. I ask that all the administrators and all this in the schools just please listen to your therapists and educators so that they can better fulfill the needs of their students. This morning, I went on to School Spring out of curiosity to see the number of positions that were available, and I was amazed to see a majority was paraprofessional job postings, and they're a glue to a classroom. 10 plus years ago, I was a para, and it was very, very hard. I had to work 2 jobs. So I hear what some of these paras are saying. They're not getting paid enough. So please consider just giving them all a fair raise. Please consider raising their wages to a competitive rate so that the district can retain them as well as attract new paraprofessionals. I guess I just want to end what I'm talking about as all of our teachers and paraprofessionals, they all deserve a fair wage. So that's pretty much what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Natalie. And I believe that was the only one, right, John?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving to the next part of the meeting, we have important events. Brian.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, September 6th, is the first day of school for pre-K and kindergarten students. I will talk a little bit later about the Theater Parents Old Sneakers fundraiser, which will take place during the month of September. Thursday, September 7th, is School Picture Day for the high school and middle school students. Tuesday, September 12th, is School Picture Day for Hillcrest Elementary. Wednesday, September 13th, is Sheffield Elementary School Picture Day. Wednesday, September 20th is an early release day for the district for professional development. And on Thursday, September 21st, Turners Falls High School will hold their open house from 5 p.m. to 6:30, and Great Falls Middle School will hold their open house from 6:30 to 8 on the same evening.
Thank you. And for people that just joined us, I will just repeat that I have my video.
Oh no, Jane, it sounds like we lost you entirely there.
While we're waiting for it, the next thing is student rep, so we can get started. All right. Well, hello, everybody.
Thank you, Heather. I think there's. Hi, Sina.
Hi, long time no see. I'm glad to be back. I love my reports. Yes.
Great.
3rd year in a row repping for you guys. Gotta love it. I'm also vice president this year of the e-board for Student Council. We have a fantastic new e-board this year. I am so excited. I think this is going to be a big year for Student Council. We have a really, really involved group of students running it. We have our first full Student Council meeting this coming Monday. We're looking forward to that a lot. We're going to do some just like casual icebreaker things, talk about like stuff planning, like things we're planning in the future. But I think one of the main things we want to focus on this year is how to get younger students, like how to make them feel comfortable to speak up in Student Council. Because I know when I was like a freshman and sophomore, it was kind of nerve-wracking to say my opinions and thoughts like in the Student Council meeting led by seniors and upperclassmen. So I think we want to work on ways to make them feel more comfortable, because everyone's voice is very important for the school, because we all go to the school. All right, some things are happening. We have a new vice principal, Miss Messina. She had a very nice reception so far. Everyone seems to really like her. I think she's fantastic. She's super nice. Love her. Let's see what else we have. Breakfast in the cafeteria that happened, which is super cool, because I think we kind of talked about that at one of our school committee meetings with some of the students from the school. We talked about having more like healthier options for breakfast. We're kind of getting off to a little bit of a slow start with the food this year. I think I don't know, something about the food director. You know what? It's complicated. I understand now. And I'm looking forward to seeing how things go through the year. Because last year we ended off on a really high note with like school lunch food. It was great. Like we had so many different options. It was really high quality. new things being introduced. It was awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to see that with the breakfast food as well, since they're now in the cafeteria. Another new thing that the food department implemented is a late breakfast. So we used to have the breakfast cart, which was the only option for breakfast. But now the breakfast cart comes out after our first block, which means if you missed breakfast, you can get like a later breakfast and bring it to your gap period, which is awesome in case you were maybe late to school or just are hungry throughout the day. So we love that. Some things that student council is hoping to plan this year. We're trying to bring back the bonfire because the high school used to do a bonfire, I guess, a few years ago, but that kind of stopped. So we're going to talk to the administration and maybe like the fire department and see if that's something we can make happen, because that would be really fun for sure. We also want to do a second year of our haunted hallway, because last year that was the first time we did that, and it was so much fun. And it was pretty short notice too. Like, we didn't have that much time to advertise or plan or decorate, but it went really well. We had a ton of people show up, and we made a good amount of money, even though it was just donations. So we're thinking this year, if we have more time to plan, maybe we can even charge like a small admission fee. I don't know, but we're really excited about that. Also, homecoming, of course, that happens in like mid to late October. So everyone's super excited about that. We're going to probably talk about that at this next meeting. And the week leading up to homecoming is also a spirit week where we do hallway wars and things like that. So I know everyone across the board loves spirit week. That's a really fun week with hallway wars and everyone gets involved. Things that have happened in the past, like, I guess not even a week, however long we've been in school, a few days, feels like a month already. The seniors, we had our senior sunrise where all the senior class got there at like 5:45 in the morning to watch the sun come up. We had some games, music, and food, and it was pretty fun. One of our students brought a grill, like a full-size grill, in the back of her pickup truck, and we were grilling standing in the back of her truck. They had like karaoke too. It was really fun. Everyone's spirits were really high, and I was surprised with the turnout. I think we had around a little over 40 kids show up, and our class is like 55, so that's a pretty good majority if you ask me. Other than that, that first day of school, the whole school also had some activities. They canceled our last block of the day, and we all went outside and basically had like a mini field day. We had like a capture the flag thing happening. We had some like all school games, like they had like the water balloon toss, things like that. It was really fun, and we had popsicles, and it was just a really fun day, and everyone seemed to be really happy, because we know sometimes high schoolers may be kind of begrudging to come back to school, but I think it really lifted people's spirits and made people really excited. Yeah, but that's pretty much what I have, and I'm glad to be back.
Thank you so much, Sina. We always appreciate hearing about what's going on.
Thank you, Sina.
Superintendent's report.
Can I just add a little?
Oh, I'm sorry, Heather. I missed your hand.
Okay.
I was looking for it.
That's quite all right. One thing that just made, well, oh, she's creeping in. One thing, so Paige is, my son is also at the middle school, so they're in the same building this year. And I just wanted to say that they did a cool activity where they, the 6th, 7th, and 8th kind of worked together and got to know the teachers with a fun little game. I thought that
the Great Falls race.
Great Falls race. Oh, I guess that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Paige was pretty Paige was pretty excited about that, and I thought that was a really great team building and getting to know your school community kind of activity. But that just made me think, maybe it's too much to ask, maybe it's not. I don't know if we could get a middle school rep, because I mean, you know, it's the same building, but they do their own things, and I think that that team deserves some
Paige
props too. Yeah, no, we'll get Paige, we'll get everybody.
Oh, I think that would be great if we had a middle school student. I don't think we have to limit to one, just high school. I think that sounds great.
Yeah, I can actually bring that up.
In.
I can bring that up at our next student council meeting, and we can maybe reach out to the middle school student council and see if we can find somebody there.
That'd be a great way to do it. Thank you, Sina. Yep. Thanks. And it does sound like a really fun start to the year at the middle school and high school. Sounds great. Okay, Brian, superintendent's report.
Sure. So I have a very brief report. As of today, Tuesday, September 5th, I just wanted to give a little update on the beginning of the year enrollment. Gill Elementary has 115 students in grades K through 6. Sheffield Elementary has 215 students in grades 2 through 5. Hillcrest Elementary, when they're all in, will have 138 students, pre-K to grade 1. Great Falls Middle School has 242 students in grades 6 through 8, and Turners Falls High School has 203 students in grades 9 through 12, with 5 postgraduate students receiving services. And the total district enrollment is 918 students, with a few more registrations, a few more families that moved into the district over the weekend coming in. I just wanted to add a little note in terms of student engagement as well. With more than 100 students participating in each of the fall and spring productions of the high school and middle school theater program, we're pleased to inform the committee that Theater Director Kimberly Rose will be adding a fall production for the middle school this year to get more middle school participation and provide opportunities for middle school kids to really be able to have more lead roles out on stage. And so auditions are being held Monday and Tuesday, September 11th and 12th, for parts in an abbreviated production of Annie to be done by middle school students. High school students can, of course, still assist and work on the stage, and there will be other roles that might not be able to be filled. I did also want to ask that add that Athletic Director Adam Graves shared that there are 166 students participating in a fall sport this year. Mr. Graves indicated that these are the highest fall participation rates since he has been the athletic director. So that's wonderful to hear that between the athletic program, the theater program, and the music program, even before you get into clubs and groups like student council, that we're seeing higher levels of participation and involvement. And I would encourage all families to encourage their children to get out and get involved with one of these groups or clubs or teams or activities. It's a lot of fun. And I know that Sina and other students speak to it all the time and take advantage of those opportunities. The Old Sneakers fundraiser is being put on by the theater parents, effectively trying to create a theater booster club. And the Old Sneakers fundraiser is an interesting idea that boxes are being left in lobbies across the school district throughout the month of September. And they're hoping that people will clean out their closets and donate old sneakers into these boxes, which are recycled and largely used as materials to make playgrounds more safe, as well as other items that can be created by it. But that's one of the primary functions of using the recycled sneakers from this company. And that's it for the superintendent's report. We do have the Collaborative for Educational Services is included in this report, but I'll talk about that a bit when the agenda item comes up.
Thank you, Brian. Anyone else have any comments or questions about that report? Okay. Do we have a business and operations report this evening, Brian, from Joanne?
No, we do not. There's no business
Okay.
and operations report.
All right. Thank you. Moving on to the school committee reports, we have the warrant subcommittee, and we need to vote to approve 3 warrants. And if it's acceptable to the committee members, we can vote all 3 together. The first is fiscal year 24 warrant number 3410. They're all dated 9/6/2023. The first one is in the amount of $11,945.21. The second is also FY24, a warrant number 3411, same date, for $135,375.76. The third is also a fiscal year 24 warrant, but this is number 3412, same date, for $250. And I just need to add, all of those are what we call AP warrants. It means they're to pay our bills. So I'll entertain a motion to approve those all together.
I'll move that.
Second.
Bill
Yes.
and Heather, any questions or discussion about those warrants? Everyone on the committee has them in their packet. All of the details are included, not just the amounts. In that case, we'll take a roll call vote. Bill?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Janice?
She said yes. Like, she's next
Okay.
door in the next
You
room.
can like wave your hand or something, Janice. That's okay if the audio is not working. Thank you. Okay, that's unanimous. Moving on to the business portion. The first item is the senior class trip. And I expect we have probably Ms. Fowler joining us to tell us about that.
Yep, she's unmuting. And do you have a camera, Donna?
Does it when you go. So Ivy and Ricky?
Yeah.
Here. Video doesn't want to turn on. Very maybe no.
It says link lights.
Oh well. I guess not. Okay, so we're here to present the senior class for this year, class of 2024. And I'm gonna let Ricky do it.
All right. I want to be the class
Ricky,
president.
Ricky, I'm sorry. We seem to have timeout, Ricky. We seem to have a bad connection. I'm not sure if you may be able to log out and get back in, if that might work.
So, no.
The audio just isn't clear enough.
Zena's texting him.
Okay, yeah, I know Tina's working on it. Our IT person is helping them. Sometimes the connections are tricky. But in the meantime, we do have the packet in our information this evening. It's the
Better?
Try it again, Donna.
Hello.
So far, so good.
Okay. So video, I mean, that will help. So as you can see our dates, we would leave during April vacation, so students would miss the least amount of time from school. We will return on Monday, April 22nd. Depending on what time we get in, I believe would determine if students were awake enough to show up on time on Tuesday.
Okay.
And the trip is actually several things in Orlando, Florida. The first would be Universal Grad Dash, where they have a special event, high school seniors only, and they close the park to the public for part of the evening so that they are allowed to be able to be on as many rides as possible and get as much done in the park during that time, and special music and special presentations for high school seniors. And they have a chaperones lounge. We currently have 4 chaperones, 2 male and 2 female. They are all part of either the Gill-Montague School District or the Irving School District. They're all teachers who've worked with these students before. Are there any questions?
Thank you for giving us all that information, Donna, and thank you for joining us, Ricky. We appreciate it. It says there'll be fundraising activities, I expect, during the whole year. There will be different activities so members of the class can raise money to pay for their trip.
Yeah, we have several already lined up. We have our annual walkathon, and the students, instead of fundraising for the whole class, they're going to start doing individual fundraising. So students who know that they need to raise more money can take the opportunity to collect more donations and raise towards their own personal trip account.
Heather?
Yeah, just out of curiosity, I see the prices there and they're a little steep for kids who are going to college the next year. But I don't know, historically, what do fundraiser totals look like? Because I'm sure that'll be a big difference.
Well, each child is individual. If I took Ricky's fundraising his first year for the walkathon, he would have paid for his senior class trip. He raised $1,000 himself. Right now, the senior class does have $10,000 in account to divide up among students planning on going. So that raised about 3,000 last year. We do give 20% to a charity every year, and I imagine we will still do that this year because we like to give back to the community with the walk-on. And also, we just one of them just ran that scratch ticket raffle, and they raised $5,600 doing that. So I had one group of 5 go down to Food City and sell tickets at Food City, and they themselves were $1,600. So I think that really, if a student, because of the fundraisers we do, have a lot of profit and they're motivated, they'll be able to raise money. A lot got summer jobs because they knew about this before they went to summer vacation. Because we had a parent meeting also.
And any
It was
kids
very well attended.
And thank you for that info. And it sounds like everyone's off to a good start. The class is off to a good start and have some good plans. I'm pretty sure there are things in place for kids who have maybe a harder time coming up with those funds. Is that correct?
There are some funds set aside for that, yes, but we are also expecting that they are going to also fundraise for themselves. Like, they should be able to raise some of it themselves. Shouldn't get a 100% scholarship with the amount of fundraising opportunities available to them.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions or comments for Ms. Fowler or for Ricky? Okay, thank you for presenting this, and I will entertain a motion to approve the senior class trip.
I'll move it, Bill.
Okay, Bill is moving it,
I'll second.
and John is seconding it. And any other discussion before we take a vote? Okay, Bill,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Janice.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, and
Yes.
myself. Yes, yes, good job, Janice.
Thank you,
Okay,
Ricky.
so that's unanimous. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, Ms. Fowler. Okay, our next item is addressing pandemic learning loss, and I think that's probably Jean who's joining us. Hi, Jean.
Yep, Jean.
Hi, everyone. Myself and Diane Ellis will be presenting tonight.
Oh, great. Diane, too. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, Diane.
Just find our share screen here. Is that coming in?
It's just loading.
All right. Sorry about that. Oh, there it goes. So we are talking about pandemic learning loss, and tonight Diane and I wanted to give a recap of the summer programming that happened over the summer to support pandemic learning loss. So we this was the 3rd year of an extended summer program. So every year students that have specific components in their individual education plans and special education would have a summer program, but because of the ESSER and COVID funding, districts are required to spend 20% of the ESSER funding on pandemic learning loss and regaining. So we had 62 elementary students, 28 middle school students, 23 high school students. We also were able to have a Rising Star Youth Leadership Program, which Diane will talk about in a moment. And we were able to support some students who were able to get a sponsorship for the Montague Parks and Rec. So for the program happening at the schools at Hillcrest and at the middle and high school, we really focused on math and reading, and supporting social emotional learning between students and really helping them engage with one another. We really were able to see some solid growth for students, and as students are coming back into the school, we're hearing a lot of anecdotal information from teachers about students that they've started to see growth for students that are that took part in the program this summer. So Diane, if you want to talk about the Rising Stars.
Just wanted to sort of share some highlights with school committee and members of the greater community about our Rising Star program. So this year we were a little ambitious. I think 15 was a bit of a bigger number than what was sort of most optimal, if you will. But we had 15 Rising Star youth leaders between the ages of 13 and 16. We had a very strong kind of community exploration focus. Rising Stars came to, they went to town government. They learned about, tax collection and the town clerk and, how people vote in town and the library and Food City and different businesses. So that was a different focus for them, but it also kind of gave them a greater sense of connection. They also did a first aid and babysitter training course, and one of our participants shared afterwards that she was hired as a babysitter because she was in fact a trained babysitter through our program, and she did share that feedback. So that's exciting. The participants in Rising Star, the structure of the program is that they volunteer within the elementary summer program and with our younger children. And then in the afternoon, they did kind of community outings and team building activities. They did a mural project here in Sheffield, and they also took a couple of field trips this year. I do have a short video. It might be a little bit, I don't know if I can play the video through live streaming, so we're going to hold off on that. I think I should hold off on it, but I'm happy to share that video with the school committee member and members and to have that publicly available on our website so people can click on it without having it create any other kind of technology things. But we did put together a small video of them participating. We had a community member, Mike Naughton, come in and make origami. It turns out making origami is really hard if you haven't done it before. So the students had a good time. We did get some survey data from the Rising Stars, and some of the feedback I think is always worth carrying forward. So we did, gather feedback from the youth about what they liked, what they didn't like as much about participating in the program. And this was our third year with the Rising Stars. So I feel like each year we've done this. There's certainly as an adult community who's supporting these youth, we continue to learn. And that's really what we hope from our Rising Stars as well, is that they're continuing to learn and see value in this experience.
And so just to kind of talk a big picture, as I'm sure many of you know, the pandemic, learning loss and the effects of the pandemic and hybrid learning and remote learning on our students is going to last longer than the funding that we have. But based on the ESSER funding, next summer will be the last summer we have the funding to do this larger extended summer programming. We'll continue to hold our typical special education summer programming, but the larger being able to really get those students who are kind of at the cusp of where they are is not going to be as abundant. Doesn't mean we're not going to be able to do something, but it won't look the same that it has for the last 3 summers. So next summer will be the last summer with this larger extended, and then we'll have to kind of reevaluate where things are and where things are looking for students. And so as we go into this school year, we will be looking at a lot of our data to really build if we are able to have a larger program the following year, who are the students that are really needing this support? But overall, the program was really well run. Huge thank you to our teachers and our paraprofessionals who stepped up to work this summer, as well as our coordinators who Christy Smith for the elementary, Dan Carew for the middle and high school, and David Potter, who oversaw the Rising Star program. And it just really, really took the programs to the next level this summer. And we're starting, like I said, we've only been back to school a few days, but teachers are already talking about how students are doing based on where they left off in the spring. So that is all we have. Any questions?
Any questions or comments for Jean or Diane? Heather?
Thank you both. In your presentation, it looked like there was a video link, but we can't reach that. Is that something you can send school committee at a later time?
Yes, I was concerned with the technical difficulties. We had to start this meeting and such. I thought it would be better to just share that. So I'm happy to share that. Brian has it, and I'm happy to post it on our district website. It's a small video. It's about less than 2 minutes, so I don't want to oversell it. And I feel like the high school students are making better videos than me. So just I'm feeling a little threatened by the level of competition out there. So it's a simple video, but I'll make sure it's posted.
We'll recognize and appreciate your effort, Diane. Bill?
Yeah, I've always thought that one of our deficiencies has been not having extended summer programs. I think districts of all level should have them because they're multifaceted. There are a lot of people that are around town all summer long, and some of them need something to do, and they find the best thing to do in their school system. I think it only adds to the potential reputation of the district, and certainly with the learning loss situation, which is not, there's always some learning loss for some students. And I think that we need to continue to provide the programs that have been established now. So if the ESSER funds are disappearing, then we certainly need to plan on funding your programs as you present them. So thank you very much for your efforts and the results. Thank you again.
Diane?
Just an unfortunate oversight. It wasn't our district run program, but it is a program run through the Collaborative for Educational Services. So our 21st century, what is typically known as the 21st century after school program at Sheffield also had a cohort of students. And, pardon Jean and I in that we didn't throw those numbers into our slide because it was a sister program that we were not administratively overseeing, but there was definitely collaboration. And I do know also many of our staff as well as agencies try to work with individual families for the reason that you mentioned, Bill, on ensuring that children have quality summer programming where possible. So I know Mass Migrant Education Program, I know Children and Families, so the YMCA, there's different scholarships and resources that have been tapped for some of our community students to participate in. So, high quality summer programming that has some educational focus, especially for those at-risk learners, is really important. So thank you for recognizing that.
Sure.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you both very much.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate it. Okay, next on our agenda, a discussion about membership with the Collaborative for Educational Services. And I think Brian had some information, and I think Bill did. Bill is our representative from our district to the Collaborative for Educational Services, and we appreciate you doing that, Bill.
Yeah, I just want to start with a kind of an overview of collaboratives. There's 24 of them in the state. They essentially are set up to bring school districts within confined areas together to form partnerships to create regional educational capacity and resources. And partly what that means is they help to design programs that essentially would provide high quality personalized education for students with special needs. That's an area, that's a focus area of the whole establishment of collaboratives, to try to also support the business of running a district. And they do that through offering significant cost savings in some instances, not wholly across the board, but cost savings and bringing partnerships and expertise which from their employees, which expand district capacity. On the high end, they have a Mount Tom Academy, which deals specifically with CD requirements. This is for older students that didn't pass their MCAS in 10th grade, I believe. CD is competency determination, which is the end result of passing your MCAS. So this is an alternative program to take students where they are and try to bring them forward through their own application or effort, and perhaps in a different way than in a structured school, and bring them forward so that they get that competency determination outside of the MCAS. There's also a HEC Academy, which is in Northampton, and that I believe deals with students that would be placed out of district. And then they have experienced people running that school and dealing with the students that they have brought before them. I don't believe Gill-Montague has a whole lot of interplay with that on that level, but we certainly have the option being part of that collaborative. And Brian, would you fill in certainly where I failed? Thank you.
Well, yeah, I just wanted to add in some information. Our annual membership bill, most recent one, was just under $2,000. And the benefits of membership are really broad. Obviously, we have the opportunity to jump in with many other school districts between Franklin, Hampshire, and in some cases, Hampden County, to purchase items in bulk, things like fuel, technology, large text purchases, and so forth. And so over the last couple of decades, there's been some collaborative purchasing that has taken place that the district has participated in. They also assist us in collaborative administration of multiple districts' Title III grants. They provide the oversight, staffing, and administration of DESE's 21st Century Learning Grant, and thus they actually oversee and staff the after-school program that takes place at Sheffield Elementary School. Included in that is also a legal retainer for special education legal consultation. They provide and facilitate the Connecticut Valley Superintendent's Roundtable, and they do a lot of work with legislators and basically provide liaison status between school districts and legislators in Massachusetts. They also organize and facilitate multiple district meetings for superintendents, pupil services directors, curriculum directors, and school business administrators, and those take place monthly. They also provide discounted professional development as well as courses for educators and administrators at discount rates. They'll also work with us to tailor district-specific professional development, and they provide discounted educator and administrator coaching as well as administrative mentors and technology professional development. So in addition to the fact that it's a good resource, not just for the networking, but I can tell you on a personal professional note, I feel like that Superintendent's Roundtable was a source at the start of the pandemic of everybody being able to ask the question, get answers to the question, so now what, right? That we all ended up having to work very extensively with each other. And I know for myself as a superintendent, I'm very reliant on that group, and we meet regularly for about an hour each week. And occasionally, like this coming Friday, have an opportunity to get together in person with the Commissioner of Education, and later on down the road with our state representatives and state senators in person.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Bill, as well.
Thanks, Bill.
Anyone have any questions or comments for Bill or Brian? It's really helpful. I appreciate you not just being our rep, Bill, but also bringing that information back. I think sometimes we think about services like that and we know they're there, but we don't always think about all the different kinds of services they help us with. And I think it's great to have a reminder of those things.
Yep.
Okay, next on the agenda, discussion about open Montague School Committee seats. We had said at a previous meeting, a couple meetings ago, that we would continue to accept letters of interest until the day before our next school committee meeting. The next meeting is September 19th. So we are anticipating being able to appoint 2 new members from Montague. So we'll have a full membership. That will be great. So we should be able to appoint 2 new members at that meeting. And then afterwards, the Superintendent Beck, and I will get together with them and give them kind of a brief orientation. And then they'll be able to join us at the following meeting. Really looking forward to that. Okay, the next item is we need to approve the minutes from our July 25th, 2023 meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
That, Bill.
Okay, I think I saw Bill. I heard with Bill and then Heather. Is that what we'll go with?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Any discussion of the minutes? They are in the packet as well. All right, we'll take a roll call vote to approve them. Bill?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Janice? Okay, I see a yes, thank you. And myself, yes. So that's unanimous as well. Agenda planning will take place either next Monday or Tuesday. And if anyone on the committee has an idea of something they'd like on the agenda from the committee, we will be glad to hear about it. And we'll look at that. Yes, Heather?
I think John was first, actually.
Okay, John.
Yeah, a member of the public would like to restart the informal, I guess, public meetings where I guess the board meets at some forum and takes questions from the public. I'm not sure how that occurred in the past, but
Okay, we can certainly put that on the agenda. We've had it previously for particular items that arise in my memory, but we certainly can, we'll put that on our next agenda to discuss it for sure. Thank you, and thank the community member for mentioning that. And any, Heather?
I don't know if we have a school committee student council meeting set yet. Could we potentially squeeze one in for September, or is it just a little too late with the high school?
I don't know, as we've checked, we've gotten any information from the advisor yet, Brian?
I'll check in with Beth Fortin tomorrow, Heather, to see, because we have a couple weeks left in September, so I think it certainly would be feasible, hopefully maybe after the 19th, that we could hopefully sneak one in before the end of September. I'm willing to bet.
I think at my last e-board meeting, we were talking about setting up one of those meetings soon, and we were going to start a sign-up sheet for people. So I think that's probably something that will happen in like the next month or so.
Okay. When do you guys get together?
Our next meeting is Monday.
Great. Okay, so I'll follow up.
Then, and I'll rally some people.
Awesome. Thanks, Ina.
Okay, thanks. Great suggestion. We usually try once we get into the swing of the year to do it at the beginning of the month, but I think that'd be great to do it as soon as we can this month to get a good start. Great. Thank you very much. Anything else? Okay, our next.
I'm sorry. Sina has another. Can she speak? It's not.
Just real quick.
Yeah.
All right. It reminded me about the meeting because I remember last year we had a few meetings with students, and one topic that came up was the bathrooms and how all the bathrooms were locked to prevent vaping and how it didn't really do anything. It was just really, really inconvenient for everybody. Well, all the bathrooms are unlocked this year. So that's like the first time that's been happening in a while. So every bathroom is unlocked, and it's super cool because you can spend less than 10 minutes searching for a bathroom in the middle of class.
Sina, having students give us their opinions about things has helped us a lot. And we do appreciate all all of the thoughtful ideas we get when we meet with you all. It's definitely helpful. Thank you.
Students were definitely really happy about that. When they announced that at the morning meeting, we got a really, really loud round of applause.
I'm glad you get recognized for your work. Thank you.
It's the little things.
Yeah, it is. Well, but it's nice. You know, they work hard when they meet with us to tell us how things are going and their ideas and what students are hoping will happen. It's very helpful, very helpful. Okay, the next scheduled school committee meetings will be on September 19th and October 10th. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Heather
I'll second.
and John. And I don't know as we need to discuss adjournment, but if you'd like to. Otherwise, we'll have a roll call vote to adjourn. Bill?
Yes.
Heather?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Janice?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Janice.
Yes. Yes.
And good job. And myself, yes. Thank you all very much. And thank you.
Thank you.
Good work. Thank you all. Good evening. Brian, I have no idea what happened with my computer. I'll have to check in with
Jane?
Gina. Yes.
Yep. I still have a whole load of people on view.
Oh, okay. You have to like get everyone done.
I've had that only happen once or twice, but that, you know how you faded out every once in a while. I think that was really the first time that it was just it just wouldn't pick it up consistently.
Yeah, and I haven't encountered that before. Yeah.
No, but it did work really well when you went off camera, so we could hear you really cleanly, with the exception of one piece where you seemed to the connection just seemed to fade. But outside of that, we could hear you perfectly thereafter.
Yeah. But I'll check in with Tina because she had to come in and get me out and in to clear it up too. So
Okay.
I will check in with her. I think she hasn't stopped the recording yet.
No. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Thanks.